Hello, welcome to Roll For It, D&D podcast here. We're gonna give a quick dog disclaimer. There are dogs in our recording area, and they do get a little barky sometimes. So I'd ask you to bear with us. They're good dogs, guys. Anyways,
don't shop.
Yes, they are.
don't shop. That's right. Anyways, so I'm gonna do a real quick recap, and then we're gonna get straight into the game here. So last episode, our adventurers arrived at the Ivory Forest at the request of one of the four cornerstone priests, Tempest Maul. Something has been going on in this area. No one was quite sure, and our adventurers were sent to go get rid of whatever is here. Recent additions to the party was the cleric, Igor, and the human, Saren. They came in, fought a bunch of undead things. There was a bone naga here. Frost went down pretty early into the fight. They got him back up. It was a ratty good time. They eventually killed it, and things happened, guys, as they do. All right, now that we're done with this recap, let's get into it. So you guys are still in the catacombs. What would you like to do?
So we've looted.
Everything that was
Alex.
We thoroughly established that if it's holy, we can't loot it. I found that out the hard way. Sorry,
If it's holy, it's going to stay in the ground. Sorry, Igor. In the ground, stays in the ground. So I guess we're heading back out.
You gonna head back out?
Yeah, head back out.
Is everyone in agreement? Saren, Igor?
Can we check to see if there's anything we haven't noticed yet in the catacombs?
Give me an investigation check, please.
Anybody else roll one for this with me?
Sure. I'm
Better because I got 5.
Yeah,
You said investigation?
Yes.
So
Oh,
with my
no.
mod, that's an 8.
Oh, man. That's 6.
14.
Wow, this is a bad start, guys.
I have
12, Saren?
14.
So you three are kind of like, you can't really see anything that pops out to you, but Saren and Karina, you guys notice that there are what seem like they might be other passageways into other parts of the catacombs, but you can't be too sure. They may just be cracks in the wall, like from age and, a little bit of erosion.
Anything look like it's been shredded over? Still not sure why this Bonaga showed up all of a sudden.
Those scrapes the cracks in the wall. Can we check around them for scrapes on the floor? Maybe the wall.
Yes, give me another investigation check.
All of us are just...
If you're also looking.
6.
Going around touching every single rock in the wall.
I see a wall.
What'd you get?
I got 6.
Got a 15.
Okay, so you guys do notice that nearing the wall there are more scrapes, but they seem to be leading away to where the bone naga was.
I want to use my
So you cast Speak with the Dead. It's kind of weird because a lot of the actual dead, excluding the bone naga, that is, that you can no longer speak with, are in tombs, and you can hear them, but you... Give me a roll me perception.
What was it?
Perception.
I basically
Okay, so you do hear them. They're not really talking. It's more like old people saying, "What are you kids doing out there? What's with the record?" They're really, they really just want you gone. For the most part, it's just too loud for them.
Pretty sure I'm still straddling a tube, so that once they get off my tube, might be talking to me.
Where the
passageways go to.
Oh, no, I would ask. You're the one talking to the dead.
I mean,
I talk
can
to
I
the
ask
dead.
more than
You
one
talk to
question,
the
or I can
dead.
only ask one question?
You can ask as many questions as the spell lasts, and I believe it lasts for 5, 10 minutes? I don't remember.
Ask, why the Bonaga was there, and if those passageways go anywhere else, and down there.
So you get the blatant, "I'm in a tomb, what do you want from me? I don't see what comes and goes. What do you mean, passageways? I died before I got here."
Oh my god.
So That might have been a bit of a dead end.
Dead end.
Okay, let's go, guys.
No. I've got a bit of a Hail Mary here for figuring out if there's anything else we should look into. Can I see if Fulverneer is going to be any help? He did point me to Maul.
So roll me a wisdom check.
18. Plus 3, so 21.
Nope. You try to contact him and you can't in this location.
I just get like the busy signal.
Burr.
Well, no, he is a fiend, so he probably can't reach me while I'm in sacred ground.
Oh yeah.
I got him.
Can you talk to God or something? I don't know. Ask if there's anything.
I'm not doing it.
Over there?
So, you guys are gonna leave the catacombs now?
Okay, yeah, that was the last piece of my sleeve.
So, you guys take your long trek back out of the catacombs. By the time you get out, it's nighttime. And it's a very clear night, so you can see the celestial bodies above you. It's one very large moon that you can see orbited by 3 planetary bodies. Their atmospheric colors are different, so there's a red one, a green one, and a yellow one. As you can even see them slowly move around the moon.
The moon has moons?
No, the moon has planets.
That's not how moons work.
Well, they do in a world of magic.
Okay.
So check your
I come
shit.
from a research institute. That doesn't sound right.
Check your shit, magic. Anyways, it's a very nice, it's a calm night. It's not too cold. Like I said, cloudless, so all the stars are around. Yeah. So you guys can either take a rest or you guys can trek back to the city now.
I mean, a short rest is only 1
It'd be a long rest if you take a rest.
I'm tired. I'm really curious as to where this bone knocker came from to begin with.
I think we should just leave it in the crypt with all the other bones.
Well,
but no, we leave it. This thing was bothering the crypt. We have to do something about that. Somebody's out there.
I mean, we took a job.
Something did this.
We took a not insignificant number of its bones. I don't think it's getting back together.
Do I notice any kind of wildlife in your area?
Roll me a nature check.
We are pulling out all this stuff.
Yes. Oh, that was bad. I'm a druid. What the hell? It's like a 9? No, 10.
I mean, you're sure there is wildlife, but nothing in your immediate perception.
Okay.
Do we think we're gonna get into combat again if we just head back now?
Okay. We're slowly heading back. I'm going to speak out in
Okay.
shepherd.
An animal language.
Would it be Sylvan or would? Okay, so I'll speak out in Sylvan.
King of the squirrels here.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Squeaker, squeak, squeak.
Does anything respond to me?
Nothing immediately responds to you. You do get. What are you doing here?
What are you doing? Okay.
You just get like a little bit of chatter between a couple of night gales. Like, hey, you up?
We were sent here to get rid of some kind of necrotic creature that was in this tomb. And
oh, you mean the bone snake?
Yes, the bone snake. The big ass bone snake. Where'd it come from?
I don't know. Some guys left it here. Just kind of waltzed his way inside the tombs there.
What did these guys look like?
I don't know. They were wearing masks. Yeah,
did they bring it in, or did they leave it outside? It just found its way in.
I mean, it was brought here still. What does it matter?
Well, there's a difference of bringing it into a consecrated area and it being able to enter a consecrated area. Yeah.
Okay, so
Can I pray like God?
Please roll me a wisdom
Senpai.
check.
Yeah. Please tell me what's going on.
Please roll me a. Please roll me a wisdom check. Is that a 1?
I thought it was a 1. I was about to scream crit fail.
So you get on your knees and you begin to do a little prayer. Nothing really happens. Like you say your prayer.
Sudden lightning strike.
Usually you get a feeling that maybe they're listening, but nothing.
Sorry guys aren't with us today.
Is whatever animal is speaking back to me, do they give me any more kind of description as what these guys look like?
They kind of just the best description they gave you of the people that brought here were they were in robes, wore masks, and were openly carrying weapons.
Okay, so they were definitely armed.
They're armed, which means that they brought this thing. They did it for a reason.
Now that we're back out, we killed the snake. We killed it. We killed what they brought to us. Now that we're back outside, can I reach my patron?
Roll me a wisdom check.
I think you check his answering machine.
Yeah, 13.
That's 8. So 11.
Nope.
I don't think he's happy with it.
Fuck you, Wolfgang.
I guess he disconnected his answering machine. I think we should just go.
Did I get any favors?
Okay.
He's driving.
we have a description. We have a description report. I think we can.
Or at least just say.
So are you leaving or are you taking a rest?
I'll take a rest. We'll camp out.
Yeah, let's
Does it, okay. Do any of you want to keep watch? And if so, any order you'd like to keep watch?
I'll climb up on a tree.
I'll take the midnight watch because my character does.
So that's basically right about now. So you and Meg will be on together. So you guys can either individually roll perception checks.
Just don't kill me.
I already learned.
Saren and Frost, you can either individually roll perception checks, or one of you can roll with it. Would you like to do?
Who's got the
Wait, let me.
perception?
I usually have. Where's my cup?
I have a
Armor's
plus.
not
I got a plus.
No.
So
Yeah, so good.
You can always just both roll it.
you might as well both roll. That is a nat 20. So
Oh,
Wow.
I
think we got
60.
So
Okay.
the night goes by, and you guys take the watch. Some things get close to your fire, but nothing gets close enough for you to see them. Nothing comes into the opening, but it's some weird noises that you might not have heard before, just because you don't spend too much, well, except for Frost, but these are creatures that you're not familiar with. But it's a pretty uneventful evening, for the most part.
What did it sound?
It's other animal sounds. You don't hear any people.
bird calls.
And that persists into the morning. And morning comes, and so you're all fully rested. You should be at full HP and have anything back.
Yay, long rest.
Yep.
Get up and crack my old dragonborn back.
And I'm
No,
going to
that's
assume
just
you're going to
sitting in the
immediately
fire.
take your journey home. Is that correct? Everyone's good at going home?
Let's head on back. We got a successful mission.
All right, Frost, are you running with the carriage again?
Just get in the carriage.
All right, roll me an athletics check, please.
So it's 15.
Okay. You do fall behind a little bit, and for a second, everyone in the carriage loses sight of you, but you catch up really fast, and then slowly start to fall behind again. It's quite a bit.
Am I really, really, really far behind, or just a little?
You fall behind for the most part enough where they can't directly see you, and then you
But I
catch
can
up.
see them though.
Yeah, because they're in a fucking
Basically
way. Yeah, struggling the entire time, and it sucks awful.
Well, I'd rather do that.
By the time you get back to the city, it's actually nighttime again when you get back to the city. Yeah.
What time did we set up?
8 a.m. And one of the guards at
This was the official graveyard of the city.
it's a day. It's a
entire day
it's a
away.
little, yeah. It's a little less than an entire 24 hours.
occasion of a death, you know?
Usually the deaths are all held together at once
Whoa.
within a week's period of time. Whoever's died, they collect the bodies and make it a thing.
What time do we arrive back?
Bring out today.
It's 10 p.m.
Are there people still out?
People are still out, but it's Pan Arno, the capital, has very little nightlife, so there's not a lot of
What kind
people out.
are out?
Mostly people coming back from Barso.
Drunk people?
A little bit, some peasants.
Can I pickpocket them?
I knew.
You
I knew
can't
the Viking
give me-
skill was coming out.
Give me 1 second to get to that. You guys arrive at the gates, and one of the people at the gates recognizes your dwarven friend and hands him a letter. If one of you would be so kind to hand your dwarven friend this letter. You do. You've been in the city long enough to know the guards are generally all the. It's a guard. He waves at you. It's a kind of a he kind of looks like he's been through some shit today. I recommend you read that letter before announcing what it is if you intend to announce it. Usually, though, the city is still a little more lively than it is right now. They're flying, there are like banners that go on each street by the lampposts. They are all flying black banners. Black banners, jeez. English language, guys. And it, overall, the city, which usually has a more upbeat tone, is a little somber this evening.
Something happened with the mask.
It just doesn't feel right. Anyways, Frost, you'd like to pickpocket some people. Please roll me sleight of hand checks. 3 of them.
I'm almost tempted to ask if I can impose disadvantage, just slap her hand away.
17? Okay. Okay, so you managed to find some people, and the first and the last one you managed to get some stuff. So you gain 17 silver pieces. The second one, perhaps, although you feel stealthy, he doesn't like try to notice you, but as he's walking, he puts his hand back and he feels your hand in his pocket, and he kind of just back kicks you to get the fuck away from him.
He's been through this song and dance before.
In my face.
Yeah, basically. He doesn't really give you the time of day. He doesn't look back.
Igor, anything to share from the letter? Or?
I'm slow reading. I'm a slow reader, guys.
Oh my god.
There's a reason why I'm the winemaker. I couldn't be the librarian. I can't read too
Sure, it's not because you've been hitting the holy sauce.
Would you like me to read it to
What I
you?
do in my spare time, praying my God and smoking that dank holy kush. Not a business.
Dragonborns, please make perception checks.
Oh, no. Oh, what did we do?
This is
I
gonna
don't
be good.
know. Oh my god. 9.
16.
Wolf, you notice this wanted poster hanging.
Oh, no.
Oh damn.
Okay, it's not us. It's a wanted dead or alive for a Dragonborn. 500 gold alive, 300 dead. Talren Beluin. Guilty of, oh my god, 23 counts of murder, 50 counts of theft, 100 counts of property damage, 20 counts of kidnapping, and many, many more crimes.
This is her family.
Terrifying.
This is her family.
Oh, Christ. That's your last name, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
Oh, no.
Karina, dear.
We're in
Who
trouble.
is this?
Well, I'm
Would her tribe have even been over here for any reason?
So these are just strewn about.
So
They're strewn about where you
I
are.
would roll for whatever sushi goes.
Krina, you know this is your third cousin.
Can I ask, so Dragonborn aren't too
Like
well
dragon
liked,
of
and
the
this
family.
is happening. That quarterstaff I picked up last session that allows me to cast Disguise Self.
Tap it twice and turn into
Yeah,
Jafar.
what does that let me turn into?
So you can turn into any appearance. However, it cannot be more than 1 foot shorter or 1 foot taller than
Can I turn into an elf?
Yes.
Okay.
How would you describe your elf form if you would do so, please?
Looks kind of like just strip the scales away. I still got the little old goatee, still the beady Dragonborn eyes. I still kind of look like just a trickster warlock. Just not a Dragonborn, because I'm getting the vibe that's gonna give me some problems.
This just went downhill so fast.
Do I notice the one with poster or not?
Roll me perception.
So,
Do
18.
You notice.
I talked her.
You would like to.
do
No, if you want.
At this point, you're
At
part
this
of it.
point, it's well known.
I mean, I feel like there are bigger concerns.
is there? Okay, so I've got.
Feel for you, friend.
I-
Thank you, friend.
Okay, so I've got myself thoroughly disguised here. Is there anybody around, or is there anything available that we can check to see who is in charge of this bounty, so we can hopefully maybe.
It's pretty late at night. You could try, but whoever it is won't be.
there are people about, right?
I think
Very few
should-
people.
Okay,
Might
my concern
anybody
is that someone
notice?
that someone is looking at.
No one is looking at anyone. They're
Okay.
pretty.
I
eyes to
think
the ground.
we got lucky, guys.
Everything is still somber.
We showed up.
Black
We showed up at night.
We need to get to the
We need
chapel. For the church.
I think.
We have to get to Tempest Mall.
I
He's the
think.
one that gave us this.
Yes. Yes. But I don't want to bother them at night. There's really probably can wake them up. I think we should just go to.
It's gonna be the safe place. Where else would we go?
I think we should just go to an inn and tuck in. Tomorrow we can find whoever's in charge of this shit. We can deal with your cousin or whatever.
We need a. We shouldn't be
start in the
traveling
morning.
outside.
It's inside the
Igor,
city.
Igor,
No.
Inside the city.
what does the letter say? The letter you're holding.
No,
He's
I
burned it.
I burned it.
What does the letter say?
Yeah, you still have the information.
It's gonna be exploded very soon.
Karina, please make me another perception check.
7.
Okay.
No modifier?
It's their voices are a little muffled, but you can hear a couple of people not too far. Okay, please roll again then. It's all right.
Nice stealth.
Again, again, it's still kind of muddled, but you can hear a conversation between two patrons who are coming out of one of the many bars. And you can hear the conversation. One of them says, have you heard about the new Dragonborn tribe causing trouble? Yeah, there's a new guy. What's his name? Bell something, right? Bellowin. If I'm not mistaken, I heard he killed one of those small villages by Houndstead. Yeah. You could see the smoke from Deephaven. That's what they say, at least.
Karina, did your tribe make any indication that they wanted you to come back at some point? They made it sound like the tribe might have come here.
I honestly don't think that they're after me. I mean that they are just spreading their destruction.
What are the chances, though, if they're
Yes,
on
sir.
the opposite
These,
side of the planet?
patrons that are coming out. Stop them and come back.
Yes.
I'd like to join
I know,
Saren.
I
I'd like to
don't
join
know, yeah.
Saren on that.
I know an inn. Let's go to this inn.
So,
Okay.
you guys stop a couple of the patrons and they ask you what the black banners are for. You haven't seen them before, and
Yeah, we just came.
And
back
not a lot
into
of people
town.
have
We were
seen
away
Black
for a
Banners.
few days.
and one of the patrons very somberly says, yes, the cornerstone priestess that resides here, Tempest Mall, I'm sure you've heard of him, was assassinated just the other day. You might see one of one of the wanted posters, and he pulls one out and he hands it to you.
Wanted alive, Gavad the Redeemer, commonly seen wearing a white mask and violet robes, 6'1", race unknown.
Not one of mine.
Wanted on high treason against a church, assassination of the cornerstone priest Tempest Law, uses black magic, sexual assault of 30 counts. Last seen heading towards the Lux Grove on horseback. Reward of 5,000 gold, blessing of the aid, compensation for his capture, and the use of temple resources.
This is the guy who brought the bone dagger.
Well, it's one of them. There were several, they said.
No, the animals said that there were 2.
There were 2. There might have been more, but the animals didn't.
Well, this guy was on horseback, and he seems to have killed Tempest Maw.
Yeah.
Tempest Maw to death?
Says 30
Assassination. The
Okay,
other
30
account.
times?
So he raped other people probably.
One of the patrons inform you, yes, his ceremony is actually being held tomorrow. If you know where the Skyforge library is, I would hope that you go there and pay some respects. I'm not sure how religious you are, but he was it's the loss of a great man.
Is Igor with us while this is being told?
Yeah, we're all together. We're not splitting up.
You're still all together.
Sorry, buddy.
If I may make
Sorry,
a
buddy.
suggestion, we were going to see Tempest anyway. That book that you have, perhaps we should.
What my thing is going on right now.
Is that a
You
one
can only use it once.
Yeah, it's a one-time use.
All the spells in the book is the
I
one.
have Circle of Death and False Life. Circle of Death, I don't know.
Okay.
Is false life just temporary
No,
resurrection?
false life is 10 HP on yourself.
Yeah,
So what'd you guys like to do?
We should go find a place to sleep.
Yeah, we should go to the
Yeah.
Instead of finding a place to sleep, I'd say we go straight to the church, because this is definitely involving us.
Yeah, we might
Yeah.
need. We also might need to sleep there. think this might
I
be...
want to listen to the dwarf because the
The
dwarf is very
The
enamored
closest
about
thing
this.
to my father,
Yeah.
I just found out is dead. I
Yeah,
don't wanna go
wouldn't
back
you
to
want to
the
be
church.
there?
No.
Okay.
I'm going with the dwarf.
They did push him out the door pretty vigorously. I think we should probably go to the
Because I
inn.
want to
Yeah.
see my friends.
Or
That was
we're
not the
at
best
the
time.
end.
This
Let's
is
go to bed.
this is a problem.
All right.
for
Any inn in
tomorrow.
particularly you'd like to go to?
The high glades. High glades in
All right. So you guys take a trip to
It's
the
on
High Glades Inn.
the corner of 45th and 2nd Street.
Why do you know that?
You could have
I'm a local.
You guys go to the High Glades Inn. There are a few patrons in there, but they're unconscious. As in, they've drank in too much and are now unconscious. Everyone roll me perception checks.
17.
18.
14.
Is my disguise self gonna last? How long is my disguise self gonna last?
I believe it lasts one.
Okay, so hopefully until we go to bed.
So for everyone, 9. Okay. So all of you kind of notice that most of the people in here, some of them look like they might be upper class citizens who just kind of came here, are not sure what to do with themselves right now. What you do know is that a cornerstone priestess are known throughout the world, and they're held in high revere, regardless of the church's stature in whatever city they're in. So it hits everyone pretty hard. It's basically like a bitch slap to say, you're immortal too. It's pretty bad. Emotionally, that there's still tension and it's a heavy feeling. You do notice 3 figures in a booth wearing white hoods.
That white hoods with any sort of trim?
No, the white hoods show around the collar gold embedding all the way around in a big circle around the collar area. There is no one else of possible intrigue but those 3 figures.
What's the price on drinks at this end?
Alright. It's not bad. The bartender looks over to you and goes, so what's your poison for the evening?
What do you got?
Here. And he just puts out a couple of tankards and he fills them up with, it's like a reddish liquid, a little closer to a maroon color, and he just passes it to you.
Enough tankards I can take these over to those couple of priests?
Here. And he brings out a little, like, a serving tray and he puts them on top.
I'd like to go over and introduce myself to those guys in the white robes and see that strike up the conversation.
He does stop you and he goes, I don't know if that's that's the right choice for you to do. You might not want to do that.
And I'm next to interject that they're generally high level clergy. Not that they're not friendly, but when there's more than one of them in a sitting, they kind of want me to have a problem. And
Yes.
Well,
It's that attitude of everyone that's being sad right now.
It's either self-pity, actually, like, depression is developing now, or they're unconscious.
Can I play music to brighten the spirits?
Make a performance check.
Really bad harmonica incoming.
hold on. I could cast Charm Person as a second level spell and get all 3 of them.
Well,
My friend.
I really don't think we should mess with
You kind of can bring up the spirits, but to the point where they're, like, kind of, like, nodding their head,
but they're still sad.
they're still pretty fucking depressed.
So while she's doing her little performance, about how many people are really in?
Like 8.
Anybody? There are now 2 wanted posters. Is anybody looking at us?
No
seeing
one's
her and thinking like,
no one's quite cognitive enough to. They're not looking around.
They're either drunk, depressed, or just keeping to themselves.
yeah,
So,
no, but like in a time like this, they then look. I'm just worried they're gonna look up and be like, Dragonborn, you.
Dragonborn that looks suspiciously like someone.
Yeah.
I think we should just sit down and get some drinks.
Okay.
Try to relax.
We got this plate of
Not get
tankards.
overwhelmed.
what has you so spooked?
Let's get a drink and see if
So
Igor, is there anything
insistent.
you want to tell us?
Not yet. I have some stuff to do.
I kind of.
So you're going over to the priestess.
I'm gonna get up from the table
Okay.
where we're at.
Alright. So you get up over and go over to the table, and you recognize the three faces. They're the other three cornerstone priests. One of them themselves is a dragonborn, blue skin or scale, an elf, and a fire genasi. And the dragonborn says, "Oh, you finally arrived. I don't know how to tell you this if you don't already know. See, it's a tragic loss, not only to the city but to this nation. I'm unfortunately must tell you that your mission must still go on. Have you received your letter?
Yes.
All right. I apologize for the circumstances in which you're being pushed into this. And the fire genasi, she speaks in and says, "Don't sugarcoat it to him. He's a member of the clergy, and Tebismal trusted him. There's no going back now, not until you finish. You need to know this, and once you're done, you'll be able to return. But until then, we cannot break your cover. I apologize for what we have to put you through. The road is going to be long and hard and arduous."
That's nothing but me messing up. I like to see something go on.
The elven man speaks and goes, "I am sure you know how much Tebismal, how close he kept you to himself, regardless of your failures. And I would hope you would attend his last rites ceremony."
I will. I will. If I have to take some step.
That's good. He would have liked you to be there. Is there any details you require about your mission, or do you think you are set?
I'll be everything I'm if I know what I'm on for.
All right. As you know, a heretic group has come and taken control of Shroudstad. Currently, Shroudstad is one of the many stronghold cities in the nation. They are keeping the church out, and we are not able to get in to free the people there. The queen has kept this under wraps because she does not feel it is the place of the government to step in, as they are still paying their tithes. However, they are doing some things that the church we do consider unorthodox. There is someone that you can talk to over in Houndstead. They might be able to help you. I'm not quite sure if they are still. They know a couple of smugglers to help you get into Shroudstad. Besides that, we don't have much more information. Rivard the Redeemer. Don't worry about him. We'll take care of that. I promise. Tepis will have his revenge. There's not much more they do tell you. They kind of just... It's mostly... The rest of the time is condoling you. Tepis is currently one of the oldest cornerstone priests. As a human, he was nearing the end of his life expectancy. And the rest of them are fairly new, maybe 20 years into the occupation. And the fire genasi and the oracle may not be able to be here physically, but she will be astral projecting to Tepis' field. Please get a good night's sleep. The last rites are early. The three priests get up and walk out of the establishment.
Do any of us?
You have not heard
It's
a
very
single
quiet,
thing.
right? I mean, we didn't hear any of it.
Nothing.
So,
I
Igor,
was
how
going to
did,
be wondering if I could eavesdrop.
Igor, how did things go with December?
To tell them, you don't have to join me. So I would very much like to go see Episcopal one.
I feel like it's
I'll be
You
attending.
can do whatever you want. I'm going. Just letting you know if I disappear for an hour, that's what I'm going to be. Besides that, there are bad people. That's why there's weird flags. Kind of cultists come in and invaded. And I need to do one last job for Tempest. And that is to. So I need to go to some place and be involved with some people. They gave me a lot of information really quick, and I'm actually right. It's been a long day, but I want to help.
I know.
We're kind of stuck with this whole thing is, I mean, Tempest Maw is who hired us all. And now he's dead, and we're left.
That raises an awkward question I've been meaning to bring up.
We have nothing better to do.
No, my awkward question might be a little bit sensitive. Who's paying us for this quest we just finished?
That's probably something to discuss after.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't gonna bring it up here.
No, after the funeral, and
Like,
or
does anyone have any words?
I'll attend the
Yes,
funeral
I
with
do.
Igor, and
Where
I
can
will ask afterwards.
Just like in the middle of the funeral, like, where can I file this invoice?
I have a
we
question.
Yes.
have reward money out.
I have a question for
So if we want to be paid, we can always. We have a little bit, or we have a lot.
Yes, Frost. What is your question?
How is the funeral like? Because, you know, there's different
Well, you'll see when you get to the funeral.
Are flowers accepted?
Flowers are generally accepted. Any
You're
kind of
gonna steal some
offering
flowers,
is.
aren't you? I dig it. I dig it.
So what would you like to do for this?
I have a question.
Yes.
For my metamagic, am I able to alter the substance? No. So I can't just take like a piece of crystal and form it?
So you're all going to bed?
Yeah, what was it in Hostels? Oh,
Then-
church staff.
They know.
Nope. Not the church's tab. Just Tempest Mall
The whole
is
city
known
is
through the
not
entire.
A sort of thank you.
Like, no.
They can't care more.
Okay, so bed for the night. Next morning.
Is anyone doing anything before bed? A religion check.
How are the local animals taking this?
Oh my god.
Bad. Everything in the within the walls and just
May I
about.
console the mouse?
The mouse is unconsolable.
No, you cannot because you can't find it.
I can't find
I'm gonna make one last appeal to see if Balvanir is there.
All right.
The wisdom.
Yes.
So 18.
Woof. I've regained knowledge that the Cornerstone Priestess Tempest Maw is gone.
Yeah, about that. What's up?
Well, I may not agree with the church and many of their practices, and while they may despise me,
I noticed that. I
Cornerstone
noticed
Priestess is nothing to wag a finger at. I would request that you do attend the funeral,
that. I was gonna.
but please don't tell them for me, obviously.
Oh no.
not.
You're. I hope I didn't get you in any trouble. Your name did come up when I first met them, and I realized immediately after I should have done that. I was gonna go sit in the back, obviously, in case the priests that heard me mention you recognize me. Anything you can tell us about this Gavad that seems to really sort of screwed the setting?
I have no eyes where he is residing. I have no way of knowing his motives. I apologize. I cannot help you further.
Alright, from your, I don't want to say lofty plane, it's like the opposite of what lofty means. Low plane? We didn't get a chance to hopefully contact Tempest after he died. Is there any way you or one of your buddies can hook us up with any post-mortem information about Tempest?
Unfortunately, all Cornerstone Priestess reside in the same realm as the gods.
Okay, so nothing you or your buddies can do here. No. Anything you guys can do for what we've been through? It seems like this Gavad was a pretty big factor in that boat now that the Tempest had us.
Again, my eyes cannot see to where he is, or what he may be doing.
You guys have any unusual undead activity on your end that might relate to what we're dealing with down here?
Nothing quite unusual, nothing within your vicinity.
Alright. Well, I'll give you an update when I got the next manuscript done.
Alright.
Thank you.
Yes. 19. Igor, you're visited by a spiritual form of a dragonborn. The color of their scales you cannot make out because they are covered in holy light. Yes, it is the form of one of the many, one of the 8 gods. Altor, he says to you, You're chosen by one of our cornerstone priests, which means I now mourn with you as many of the others in your vicinity do. I must tell you that our numbers have dropped. Not as we have died, but as one of us is no longer able to contact the material plane. Fortuna is no longer able to grant their blessings to the world. So I'd ask that you rally the members of the clergy and the churches of your nation, do your best to make some kind of sustainable happiness. I understand this is a heavy task, but you are vouched for by a cornerstone priestess. And the voice fades, and the image fades.
Hold up. Did they say Fortuna?
Yeah.
You're on my room.
Problem. That's
You're on my room.
That's the god of combat and magic.
On my room.
And so you go to bed.
Yes.
How early does everyone want to wake up?
I felt like there wasn't much sleep taken
Early
early.
enough.
Early enough?
Enough that I can get a long rest, but I'm pretty sure I was just compelled by my warlock patron to go to this funeral, so I got no choice. I'm going. I'm up early enough to be there on time.
I want to get up early enough to break the flower shop.
So 5 a.m., 6 a.m., the rest of you?
Well, I was already up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And I've cleaned up and I've washed my clothing to attend this funeral.
I feel like not much sleep was taken. I was up.
Up? Everyone's up? Who
I
is
polish
attending
my,
the funeral?
I like polish my scales.
You
I like
wanna
my
try?
Does that dictate if I'm like going to? Because I want to help him on his mission, but I feel like going to.
I mean,
Not that
your
it's
cousin wasn't
dangerous.
the one that killed him. So.
Yes,
But it's still in bad
wanted.
taste. I
mean,
But
definitely
it's
have
still
a
in
similar-
better taste to show the respect of it.
I was gonna go in my regular.
Also,
I
Java,
wasn't
you
gonna
also
disguise.
have a staff of disguise self. I
I
believe.
can only use it on myself.
I wasn't
If
gonna
you
use
hand it to her, she can use it. It's the user only.
I wasn't
I
gonna
don't have a
use mine on
weapon,
me,
so if something happens, I'm down to just my antler.
We're in the city at a funeral. What are the odds of Roll is gonna break out? Okay, fair. We don't know.
Okay, well
We-
then
we
I'll
don't know
just
what
go
type
to
of
this
funeral.
funeral and we'll see how everyone reacts. Then.
Alright.
Alright, I'll be going magic only. She has my staff.
I'm going. I
To
haven't
do what
cast
with?
disguise self
Disguise
yet.
yourself.
But it's only yourself.
It's only her. If she's wielding it, it's only her.
You trade it. Staff.
Use it at your
Oh.
discretion.
You are a barbarian. You have that proficiency.
Are you disguising self?
Yeah, for right now you have.
Sure.
I'm going as myself until I get a cue that I should know.
Okay.
I mean, the Dragonborn that did this looks literally nothing like me. I cannot change my parents.
Alright.
Hold on. Is there a reason that you shouldn't go as you?
You forget his clumsiness.
I don't know.
Okay, he lit the
You
priest on
heard- you
fire
heard-
once,
You
but
heard
he
what
did.
I told you last
No, I
night.
didn't hear.
I told you last night that there's an evil cult in the area.
I mean, do you know anything about it?
No.
You one of them.
Alright, so,
Is this a daddy issue thing?
Frost, you're
Oh, boy.
stealing flowers, correct?
Yeah, no one else
Roll
is
me a
there.
stealth check.
But nobody's there.
Don't own the flower shop. Generally, in cities, they live above their
Arcane
their
alarm
shop.
system.
My armor also has like +1 stealth. Well, it says advantage on stealth though.
So you get to roll first.
7. Do I?
If you want to, you could crit if you necessarily.
No, I scored 4 this time.
Okay. So you do manage to get your way into one of the many flower shops and grab a bundle of some white flowers and some green flowers that have been prepped. Most of the flowers of those type. Anyone else doing anything before the set?
My nicest warlock robes. I got nothing else other than like make myself look nice and not raggedy.
I don't have another
I'm
set of
plan-
clothes or anything.
I'm planning on just sitting in the back out of respect.
a dirty druid.
What do I look like?
Whatever you want.
Whatever-
I Wordle will be with me.
I was an elf last night.
Sure.
So.
Look, we match.
I'm going to do a slightly odd custom. I'm going to find a smooth stone, as white as possible, and I'm going to clean that up before we go to.
Are you going together as a one party or in separate groups to the food?
I mean, do any of us have a reason to sit in a pretty prominent spot? Because I was planning on
He
sitting
does.
like
I
mid
wanna-
to back. Myself in the solid.
I feel like on our way there, it's much like Matilda with the standing by for just people file off that back, and then they file off.
Yes.
You're in a large cove area. There are 3 pillars on each side that have risen out of the water. Because this is right in front of the Skyforge Library. The water directly within this cove is red. Igor knows exactly what this is because he's performed many funeral rites.
Yeah.
But not on the scale. In the city, especially at one of the Cornerstone Priest's Church, deaths are generally done through the sailing away of a body into bodies of water, and generally the area in which they're sent off is done with some kind of holy material. In this case, it's holy.
Can you approach like the pedestal or coffin or whatever's approach there without being hurt?
There are guards and members of the acolytes of the church who surround the area.
And they won't let you go close?
They're not letting you get more than 15 feet from where the ministers.
Can I approach them with my gift? Lay it down.
You can hand them your gift if you want.
You said that the priests were right there. I approached one of them with the stone, and I explained to him the customs of my homeland about putting it at the bow of the boat. I think it's a bit fun.
They take your gifts and offerings and they set them within the coffin and the barge of Tepesmal. Slowly in this morning, very shortly after you arrive, many other individuals start bringing things. And they range from bags of gold to weapons, art. Some people bring small pieces of furniture. You can tell that everything that they're giving away is something precious. Yes.
So this might be a little bit long ordery, but that guy's gotta be here to
You
be
really,
watching what he did.
this is a bit of a stretch for return to scene of the crime.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I mean,
I would like any birds.
No, because he
anything
said that he
flying
took
around.
off on horseback.
Doesn't mean it's still around.
All right. So what are you asking these birds?
Have the birds give them a description of the 2 wanted,
Yeah, I was about
In
to
the
say,
area.
out of the 2, the serial killers. The
if
one
there's
that's more
anything
likely
they've
to still be
seen,
here.
or if they can report to me if
Well,
they see.
The problem with that
They let
is-
you know you're the only ones who have entered the city relatively recently. The doors are currently shut for the ceremony. You really arrived just in time to get into the city.
Can I approach and give flowers, but I also want to give the bird brain from steak? For my people, learn legends, part of the culture. So I also give that as well. But it's something usually I want to keep, so it's a sign of blessing.
They also you hand it to them and they take it, put it onto his barge, and a beam of light peers through, and the astral projection of the sacred oracle arrives.
What?
Yeah. Basically, it's basically as if you killed a member of the royal family. The king and or queen is gonna
Oh.
and you can hear music being played. It's very low and somber. The environment just feels like it's a very sunny day, but it feels very cold. The Cornerstone Priestess looks to everyone and says, "It is on this day that we, regrettably, must say goodbye to one of our own. A man that you have all known, and a man that has come to love his life and the lives of all those around him more than anyone else I have ever known. A man that has taught the 3 of us," he gestures to the other 2 Cornerstone Priestesses, "how to live our lives in service of the higher powers to be. He will be greatly missed as he travels to the plane in which the gods reside." And he actually starts to break down and cry. It's the Dragonborn. He breaks down and starts crying, and the other 2 do their best to console him. And the sacred oracle in her astral form projects, "We now send Tepesmal off, so he now may go and enjoy the comforts of the realm of the gods. He will be missed, as he has gifted us all with something very special that no one else will get to experience. We are all blessed by his life. We are all blessed to have known Tepesmal. Even now, as I am away in attempts to quell the civil war of Yeong Gunk, I feel the loss of one of my own, as along with the other 3 Cornerstone Priests, Tepesmal was one of the ones who had came and found me, and was a father to me as well. You can visibly see that the astral projection's hands are shaking. They're clenched together, but they're shaking, and she's obviously getting very emotional about this. And she turns away from the crowd and she goes, "All your gifts and offerings have been given to him, and we now send him off so he may go and truly be free and enlightened thanks to our gods." And the barge sets out. A line of 10 priest acolytes line up, notching arrows onto bows, each arrow lit, different colors of fire. The essentially just the rainbow. I'm not going to go through the colors. And simultaneously they fire each arrow landing on top of the barge, and it gets set ablaze in a wondrous rainbow flame. And slowly the barge sinks into the water as the fire dissipates until finally it can no longer be seen. The fire is extinguished. The 3 pillars on each side, so 6 pillars total, begin to recede back into the water, and the water begins to lose its red color, and the masses begin to disperse. And that is the ceremony of Tempest. Anything you would like to do?
I'm gonna go over them and explain to them what the fuck just happened.
To the 10 archers or the?
No, to Todd now.
Okay.
Because I was the front.
Yeah, you were the center at that.
So like, I figured they were very confused. So I go there and I explain why.
So you explain to them.
Yeah, you just did.
So now we know.
Now you know.
I explained your exposition back.
Okay.
One thing led to another, and now we know full grown additions.
Is there anyone kind of really looking at us, looking at me?
Not at first, and then you hear a voice that's very familiar to you, and the voice is in anguish and in pain, and you hear, "Igor, you son of a bitch!" And
I'm gonna cast
all right, how does a 10 hit your AC?
Oh my god.
a 10 on my AC.
Yes.
That should be a good thing.
Well, this person attempted to punch you. It's one of
They're
the
real.
many
They're
acolytes that you served with. As he attempted to punch you, and he goes, "You son of a bitch, Tempest trusted you." And then you see 2 others, and they're holding him back, and he goes, "Even Igor wouldn't have done this. Igor wouldn't have done it. You have to drop it. It's fine." But this guy is visibly struggling against them, trying to hit you.
What did these idiots think he did?
I don't know.
Kind of like grab a copy of the wanted poster for Gavon and wave it in these idiots' faces is like, it wasn't Igor. We were in a different zip code.
We were quite
I was
literally
out
a
here.
day away.
I don't know what happened. I came to the news that he died. I'm just as upset as everyone else.
Don't be a
With
jerk
even
to
less
the
information.
don't be a jerk to the dwarf. He came back and was crushed.
So one of the 3 acolytes pull their more aggressive friend away, and an older human gentleman that you know, he is basically an accountant for the church to make sure all their shit is in order.
I know him.
A supplier.
I've worked with him.
His name's Jeb.
Jeb.
And he comes up here and goes, "I apologize. Many of the newer acolytes, when they heard about your expulsion from the church, they do blame you,
I forgot to tell you about that.
although unjustly. For whatever reason you had to leave, you're forced to leave. I still believe you to be a good man, and I understand that this time can be hard." And he passes you like a little bag. I know it's not. He pulls out your hand, and you know it's not a lot, but it's what we can spare right now. It's 7 silver. I don't know if you're going to be staying in the city or not.
No, I'm not staying in the city. I'm getting far away.
All right, and
not
I hope this funds will see you well. I do know to the north, there's a small village that you might want to go to. A little more isolated. They may not have heard of their expulsion, so they might treat you better at the church over there.
I will take that.
Its name is Roundstead. Try not to get lost. I know the paths aren't what they used to be.
Or
It's north.
I will make my way on the thing.
And the acolyte. What would you guys like to do?
Just wondering, they just told us to go to Ramstead, was it?
Well, there.
Well, they said that was a town that might not have heard of Igor's expulsion yet.
Yes.
Yes, but also at the same time, those guys that we heard last night.
No,
they
Roundstead?
They told us to go to Houndstead.
Houndside.
Houndstead.
They said to go to Hounside.
Which is
people
needlessly similar.
Yes.
So what is actually happening at March? Slave or film?
So Houndstead is where the third cousin of Green and Bellowind, around there, a smaller village around there that he attacked. Houndstead itself is still fine. It's Stroud that Igor has mentioned.
What happened there though? I
Currently,
understand
it's currently under occupation by a separate military force.
what
They said it
happens
was
to
a.
people
They
there?
said it was a heretic.
No one knows because no one
Nobody
can get
knows?
in.
No one can get in.
So Karina's cousin is active near Houndside. Shostak is where
Shroudstrad.
Shroudstack is where the heretics took over, and Roundstead is where Igor might still be accepted by the church.
Is
Okay.
there, with my past knowledge, do I know if is there a very immediately
No.
how
It's like
Is it one or the other? That we
It's a
can go to?
direct L shape. It is straight north to Houndstead, and then due east to Houndstead.
Shroudstrad.
Shroudstrad. These names. Steve.
So the
Jesus.
So the smugglers are north, the heretic cult is east, and then where is?
It's not too far. Maybe 2 days journey.
Alright.
so I think that we should go.
I'm tempted to
North.
give those acolytes
Yeah.
a piece of my mind.
No, I think we should go north and talk to the church up there in that town and see if they might be able to pay us for what Tempest said to pay us to make you guys happy. And we will continue to replace that.
Well, this is in the direction of her family that is for some reason here.
That way?
Yes.
Well, we can just, do we have to pass through there to get to the place with people that like me?
So it's not necessarily on the same path. The path that takes you to Houndside would also lead you.
Very chance we can check with the queen.
The queen wants nothing to do with this. She's not going to give any help.
I
She
don't know. I feel
literally
like
threw us out of
I feel like she
the queen just wants nothing to do with this.
I don't know. I feel like she was coming out of me last night.
Maybe. I think you might have perceived it wrong.
Maybe.
But that sounds like a good prompt for a short story.
Are you
the warlock?
still under the assumption of wanting to check in on the town? Because
Yeah. See who we can check with. Yeah. Maybe before we think about leaving the city, we should see who the local contacts are on the town.
Let's look at some shops.
it was a job done, to be honest.
Maybe we can at least probe them for either of the town keys and see if we can get any more info or any help.
All right. Well, we're gonna end our episode here. This has been an emotionally charged episode. It's really fun.
Therapy.
Guys, roll for perception, and we'll see you next time.